Welcome, everyone. Episode 50, Pickleball Effect Podcast. I'm Braydon.
And I'm Kyle. We made it.
Dude, 50
It's a big deal.
is huge. I think I've maybe missed 1 or 2 weeks throughout the last 50 or 52 weeks. And it's still going. And thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I was going to buy, little blowers and party.
Yes, I thought about the same thing. That's hilarious.
I thought it'd be funny, but I didn't get home until late last night. I was out of town most of this week. But I thought we would have been hilarious if
That's
we did
funny.
that.
I thought about bringing you a party hat. It was a busy week though, so I didn't.
But no, this is super exciting. Episode 50. We're gonna do a giveaway. So this is what we came up. This is what we gathered together. So we got like the ultimate Pickleball Effect accessory packet here. So a rare Pickleball Effect hat.
I don't even have one of those.
I only made 100 of these when I made them. I only have a handful left. Kyle doesn't even have one.
It's true. I don't even have a Pickleball Effect shirt.
Dude, you're gonna be way cooler than Kyle. Well, Kyle's gonna have to win this giveaway.
I know.
We're gonna do a variety pack of my new Ultra Soft Comfort. No, what are these called? Soft Ultra Tack Over Grips. A pack of my Comfort Tacks. The 1 gram per inch tungsten. The 0.5 gram per inch tungsten. A roll of the edge guard tape, and then
Oh man,
we're gonna do the Antibright Alpha Scorpius, lightly used, but I was like, it's kind of rare. It might be kind of a fun. And then we also got Pickleball Central.
Pickleball Central hooked it up.
They're doing a $250 gift card, so that's not bad.
No, you can basically get any paddle
You get
want.
like any paddle you want. If you don't want to get a paddle, I mean, that'll load you up.
Get some clothes, whatever you need, balls.
But yeah, so this is how you enter. You need to like and subscribe to the channel. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Bonus points if you make a comment that's like a funny dad joke. If you if you make us chuckle, you get a bonus entry. And then you also, that one's optional. And then you have to go follow us on Instagram. So you have Dink Smash Media on Instagram, Pickleball Effect on Instagram. So you go do those 2 follows, like, subscribe this video,
And you gotta follow Pickleball Central since they hooked up.
All right.
The gift card. You have to.
It wasn't part of the contract.
I know, but
We'll throw that in.
we
there.
got to do them a solid.
We'll do them a solid because they're the ones giving us the $250 for the gift card. But yeah, that's how you enter. We'll announce it this Friday on my Instagram. We can do like a collab or something on it, but we'll announce it Friday.
Are we gonna play Friday morning?
Yeah,
you?
I don't see why not.
We'll
No, I'm in Utah.
Oh, you are in Utah for PPA. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'll say we go live, but
Yeah, but
too busy playing.
that'll be fun. I think that's enough where people are like, okay, I want that.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
not-
essentially, it's 2 paddles. Essentially, if you want, it's a paddle that you can't get. It's a paddle that's got a lot of controversy around.
Yeah, hopefully people are into that. But boom, there you go. And then another big announcement here is with Stack. So I am officially announcing my partnership with Stack Athletics. They're an apparel company, just super high quality stuff. You'll see me wearing their shirts, their shorts, their hats in all of my videos. And Stack, like finding and picking Stack has been like our finding sponsorships for the pod. Like it had to be somebody that I like genuinely liked. I liked their stuff. I liked what they were doing. I liked the group of people. Very selective with that stuff because I want the people, like I want to represent them and I want to feel good about it and feel good about the stuff I'm promoting, right? And so definitely feel that way with these guys. Really like their shirts. They have performance and lifestyle. They have really nice hats. Their tourney shorts in particular are super nice.
I am wearing them right now.
He's wearing them right now.
They're my favorite shorts now.
And then it's starting to get cooler, and their hoodies are so soft and comfortable. We need to get you one though.
I'll get a hoodie.
But so as part of this announcement, we're gonna do a 24-hour 20% off discount code. So I talked him into doing like a deeper discount, but it's only for 24 hours. But yeah, if you haven't seen their stuff, they have men's apparel and women's apparel. My wife really likes their skirts. Really, really high quality stuff. This is a really good deal, 20% off. So go to stackathletics.com, check out their stuff. If there's anything you like, pick it up. My recommendation is the tourney shorts, and then I really like their hoodies, but I haven't tried anything on that I don't like. I'm wearing their Flow State tee. This is like a performance t-shirt that they have. You have one of the lifestyle shirts on.
Yep.
But yeah, go check them out. Look through their stuff. Use the code 20effect for 20% off 24 hours.
Very cool. Very cool. They also fit everybody. So small guys like Braydon, big guys like me, they fit all the sizes. So
yeah, they fit
That's
really
pretty
well. Super comfy. The liners in particular are
very
like
soft.
super soft
Yeah.
and smooth. They're legit. They're really comfortable. Like they have their own designer. They make their own stuff. They're not gimmicky. Like they got a good thing going, and I'm glad to be a part of it. But yeah, you'll see me wearing all their stuff. And so if you ever see me wearing something you like, you know where I got it from, Stack Athletics. And for the next 24 hours, 20 effect. And then we'll hop into our weekly update here. Just some stuff happened this week for us. Kyle's Corner is bumping.
Got a few things.
That's going to take up the majority of the pod, I think, today. And then just a few things in paddle, babble, and gear. Before we hop into those, let's give a shout out to our title sponsor, C&D Nets.
C&D Nets. All right, so these are the best nets that money can buy. They are not cheap. They have multiple options. You have flat base. You have like a serious heavy-duty caster base. And you also have flat mount. So if you have a club that you're building and you need nets, definitely C&D Nets. They do bulk pricing. If you just need some nets for your gym or like a local park that need to roll around, the caster base is like seriously awesome. $100 off with code PEPOD. So definitely check them out. They are based out of Utah, American made, 10-year warranty, can't go wrong. And they're just solid nets.
Yeah, super solid. Can't beat them. And like, yes, they're more expensive, but when you compare them to other like their competitors that are in this same or similar price range, like it's not that much more.
Yeah,
but it's worth paying that little extra because the nets are better.
Yeah, and I have noted like people be like they're so expensive. I'm like, well, yeah, if you compare it to like an actual tent, like these are serious. Like these are basically semi-permanent nets.
Yeah, they're real nets.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it doesn't play like a temporary net.
No.
So Doug got his for bread and butters courts.
Yeah, I thought they look good.
They look good. Yeah, they do custom colors as well. So
yeah, like if you're making a court in your backyard, like you want a good net.
Yeah,
like if you're to spend $40,000, like go get a good net because the net is like a huge part of the game.
And I've seen that. Like I've seen people build like a $20,000 court and then they put like a Swift net up. Nothing wrong with Swift nets, but if you're spending 20 grand,
yeah, like let's play real pickleball.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, C&D Nets, PE Pod is the code to use with them. But yeah, personal courts, public, city.
Yeah, I
private.
I want to get Manitou to get two for the temporary courts because that would be cool because those are falling apart.
All right, going to our weekly update. So I just got back from like a vacation in Eastern Oregon. My family left last week on Saturday or Sunday, and then I flew in Wednesday. But it didn't feel like a vacation, unfortunately. I think I'm more tired now than I was before I left. It was just a lot of work. Didn't sleep great. And
any pickleball, nothing?
No pickleball. So I didn't, like I played that Monday before I left, but I worked a ton. Like I was up till like 2, 3 a.m. Tuesday night trying to cram all my work done before I left. Didn't even, like I shot some videos that Tuesday night and I had to redo them because I didn't do very good.
The energy wasn't there.
The energy wasn't there. It was I just rambled. But so that was a bit of a bummer. But like, I don't know, dude. Like maybe it's just our time of life because we're both in a similar time of life. I'm just like exhausted.
Always.
Like when my family left on Sunday, I just laid down and passed out for 3 hours. It was like 6 o'clock.
My 2-year-old's going through like a sleep regression. So like I'll get off work at midnight and I come home. I open the door and I can just hear her screaming. I'm like, oh no.
I think it's just this time of life. Like the kids are a lot. There's a lot of time.
Yeah.
Like there are a lot of time. We're trying to build our businesses. It's just exhausting.
Keep our wives happy.
And then, anyways, it wasn't the most restful vacation, but the kiddos had a ton of fun. They always have a lot of fun with their cousins. Oregon coast is beautiful. Lots of, it's with her Asian family. They're all like really good fishermen. So they were fishing and crabbing.
Cool.
So we had like fresh crab the entire time.
That sounds awesome.
And it was delicious. It was really, really good that way. But yeah, so I didn't play a ton of pickleball, which is why the paddle Babble section this week is a little weaker. Luckily, Kyle's Corner is bumping. You mentioned under the weekly update, You were invited to go on like a Canadian podcast.
Oh yeah. So I'm going to when I get back from Japan. So his name on Discord is like Pickleball Pat, and he runs like a Canadian podcast.
Okay, yeah.
And
I think I've seen it.
And he invited me. He's like, would you come on our podcast and talk about paddles and stuff with them? I'm like, absolutely. So
That's awesome.
I'm pretty slammed until I go to Japan. So I told him I can either do it remote from Japan or I'll do it when I come back because I'll have a lot of free time when I'm in Japan.
Nice. Yeah, get those guest appearances. Sweet. Yeah, you'll have to report back when you get that up so people can go check it out. And then PPA Salt Lake City's this week. I'm playing in that. You're not playing that though, right?
No, you're playing with Kendall, right?
Yeah, Kendall.
Yeah.
So Kendall's a local guy. He and I are playing in the money ball.
That'll be fun.
I originally asked him to do 5-0 with me, but he was already playing with someone else. We ended up getting like the last spot in money ball.
Okay.
So we're doing that. Doing 4-5 singles, not playing mixed. And then I actually had a hard time finding a men's partner. I'd asked probably a handful of people, and they couldn't do it or they already had partners. Those are like kind of the people I will normally play with.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wasn't sure I was going to play men's, but then Luke Geyser, so he's the Pickleball Pigeon.
Okay, I was like, why is that name familiar? Okay.
So he has like an Instagram account. I'm not sure how old he is. I want to say 15, 14. Okay. Anyways, he's like he's one of their like youth sponsored players. He travels a lot. He's at a lot of tournaments. I met him. I think I met him at PPA St. George. I feel like I may have bumped into him at some other tournament, and we've chatted a little bit on like Instagram. And so he messaged me a couple weeks ago. He's like, Braydon, I want to go play Salt Lake. I saw you weren't on there. It's like, do you want to play with me? I was like, sure, why not? So we're doing 4-5 together.
Oh, fun.
And we'll go see how I do there. I got the paddle I'm gonna play with. I'm gonna save it for paddle Babble. But do you know what I've been playing? What I'm digging right now?
Oh man. Well, last time I played with you were playing with the Gearbox Ultimate.
Okay, so I don't think you know what I'm playing with. I think you're gonna be surprised.
Is it something like I definitely wouldn't guess? Probably.
I don't think you would. If you haven't seen me play with it, there's no way you'll guess what it is.
Dang.
But we'll talk about that in paddle Babble. Anything else for the weekly update?
No, I don't think so. I think that's all we had on that. Yeah, that was it. So let's move into Kyle's Corner.
Kyle's Corner.
Sponsored by myself. All right. So the big talk this week was the YOLAs. I don't know. Did you watch some PPA?
Yeah, I did actually a little bit.
So
eating crab, watching some PPA.
So you got the Mod TA out there, which Chris Olsen from Pickleball Studio cut open. It's identical.
Yep. John Q just released his.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah. So they're identical to the delisted Gen 3s. So that's kind of an issue. Then they have the 3S, which is supposed to be a like tuned down version. And that's actually going to be released in like a week.
Wow.
They won't send me one.
Yeah. Wow.
So
I wonder what
I want to cut it open. Like is it also the same?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they'll have some sort of marketing around it. When we talked about it last week, I had assumed that it was going to be hotter than the TA, but I don't think it is.
It's not. They're saying it's less.
The people are saying it's less. And
based on
the Johns, was Colin playing with one?
Ooh.
I think I saw Colin playing with one this week.
If it looks like, if it has a design on it and it's the Gen 3, it's the new 3S.
Yeah, so
because Tyson had it.
I'm pretty sure Colin was playing with it. Tyson was playing with it too.
Yeah. Well, he had it. He had the photos with like Kwangdong and like was showing it off.
Oh, gotcha.
So and it is officially going to be released UPA-A approved only. So it'll be the first one. It's the first paddle that's been approved in their interim certification process.
Yep. It'll be interesting. But yeah, I bet it's towed down, especially if the Johns were playing with it because they're known for not liking the super hot paddles.
But they're starting to lose, so they might need some hotter paddles.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that, dude.
We'll get there. But anyway, so the drama was these paddles are too hot, and
the TAs.
Well, yeah, the TAs are like crushing. And in singles, it's very apparent more. So, like Kwangdong got double pickled by Stacks, 11-0, 11-0, like just smoked him. And if you look at like who's in the top. It's a lot of YOLA athletes right now. Like the disparity between equipment is becoming very apparent, and Selkirk's not happy. Selkirk athletes are not happy.
I can imagine. I mean, and the disparity between like men and women, I wonder if there's a difference there because I wonder if it's more dangerous in a women's player's hands because the power generation levels are different for the men's and women's side. So if when a woman has a TA and they can spank it and really rip it past you, like is there a bigger advantage there, you think, or is it about the same?
See, that's funny that you say that, because that sparks a conversation I just had yesterday about how should pickleball take the approach of like slow pitch softball. So like in slow pitch softball, there's a guy's ball and a girl's ball. The girl's ball smaller, travels faster. Guy's ball's bigger, travels slower, because men generate more power on average.
There's no way you could do that in mixed though, right?
No, yeah, exactly. In mixed, I guess like you're always going to be kind of
It's got to be
stuck.
It's got to be the same.
But at singles, like, do you have like a guy's version of a paddle and a girl's version of a paddle? Like what do you do to equal this? I guess like in volleyball too, like there's like a guy's line and a girl's line. I didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that one. Interesting. I don't know. I just was thinking about that. Like, it would be interesting to go look at the podiums there. Like, I know Brooke Buckner's been doing really well. She's playing with it.
See the end of that match where Christian like throws the paddle.
I wonder if it slipped out of her hands. I'm not sure if it was on purpose.
Like she threw it on purpose. But it was, the scary thing was it looked like she threw it like towards Buckner.
Yeah. But like regardless, there does seem to be an advantage there.
Yeah.
And like Selkirk doesn't have anything really even close.
No. I mean, the 002 is your closest thing.
Yeah. I get, yeah. But it's not as forgiving. Like it just doesn't play quite as good as the Gen 3s.
But like they've always been vocal about not being, like they don't want to chase the power game. I think they want the game to basically power to stop.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with.
Dude, I thought we were past this like power phase. Like once the delisting of like the Ripple, the Vadix, and the YOLAs like originally, I was like, okay, we're done. We made
it's gonna stop.
We went through, we found our limit. Now it's coming back.
Yeah, YOLA's at the freaking,
they're doing it again.
The helm.
They're doing it again.
Which is also UPA-A's interim process is now official. Fees are out. I don't know if what's funny is Q's podcast, he had all the information. So it is $72,000 a year, $5,000 a paddle, $1,000 per variance of paddle to be certified.
Wow. What do you think of that?
So it's still going to be $100,000. Like that's
is that about what?
Well, I mean, it's $72K, but then like you're going to get a couple paddles. Like they're still going to be getting about $100K per brand, I'm sure.
The 72, that's per year.
Mm-hmm.
That's not like a one-time.
No, it's membership.
For some reason, I thought the original plan was like $100K once to become like a member.
No,
but this is per year.
Annual. And then I have an issue because I brought this up. And again, we have no official statements, so I don't have like a connection to like get real 100% true answers. But my question is, does the umbrella company pay that? So like Pro XR, Paddle Tech, like it's the same.
It's gotta be per brand.
Like they're owned by the same company.
Right.
So it's kind of unfair to me if they pay that one fee and then you get both your brands.
They would have to pay per like Pro XR 72.
I hope so.
Paddle Tech.
The person 72. I asked, I don't remember who it was, but they said that they think it's just the umbrella company that pays. But
if that's the case, I wonder if we'll see more mergers.
Exactly. And I think if that's the case, we're going to see a lot of consolidation of brands.
Oh, that's fascinating.
But with those fees, there are some brands that are already like, we are not paying these. They're telling our local players to find new brands because they're just not going to deal with the fees.
Yeah. I think it was so two local younger players. They're both fantastic. They're like Chloe competes on tour.
Yep, she has some qualifier wins.
Yeah.
She's been in a main. I think she's been in a main.
They're both sponsored by Crush. And so Crush is one of those kind of smaller, medium-sized brands.
Big on social media. They're getting a pretty big presence here locally.
Yeah. And I'm sure they have other hubs. Maybe it feels bigger here than they are in real life. I don't know.
They're based out of Arizona.
But from what I understand, they said, we're not going to pay that fee.
Yep.
If you want to play in the main draw, the PPA events, you have to find another sponsor.
Yeah. So if anybody's looking for two up-and-comers, Chloe reached out to me yesterday to try a paddle. So
yeah, she wanted to try.
She reached out to me for Pro XR.
The Pro XR, yeah. Okay. Yeah, she asked me if I had, and I was like, no, but Kyle does.
Yeah, I do. I think I loaned it out, but I have the one she's looking for.
Yeah, I never got the elongated.
You got the elongated 16, right?
No, I got the Sweet Spot 13. They just sent me the one paddle.
Okay. And then I got
You got the longer one.
I got the longer one in the 13 and the Sweet Spot Max in the 16. Which Billy's loving right now.
Is he?
Oh, yeah.
I was surprised they didn't send me the elongated one because like that's like their main paddle. I'm like,
Yeah.
why would you send me the most random of your like
I know.
4? I was like, what in the world? And they messaged me the other day, like, you gonna review this? I was like, it's just one paddle in your series,
And not the one
and
everybody's
not the
super-
one
yeah.
everyone's interested
Yeah,
in.
everybody wants to know the elongated 13.
Yeah.
The elongated 13 is the most popular.
Yeah, so that was kind of a funny one. But yeah, that's interesting. Like, yeah, we'll have to see more people consolidate, especially in the middle. Like, I wonder if they'll become one company or they'll do the umbrella. The umbrella style makes more sense, especially if you built up like your own brand. But yeah, you got brands like Crush who are saying, no, I'm not going to pay it.
Yeah.
They don't have any PPA pros.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. No.
And if you don't sign up, if you don't pay for it, your paddles can still be played in amateur events.
Yeah,
So
because USAP approved. Yeah.
USAP approved. And so it's not until 26, I think, is when amateur stuff's going to be affected.
And that's only for PPA. And that's going to be a whole ordeal. That's only for PPA. Like you're still going to have APP, local events, all that stuff. So if they continue to go USAP, some people just never had, like some brands might never care.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of brands won't have to worry about it until 2026, right? Because USAP still gets the amateurs the ticket they need to play anywhere. But even so, if UPA has different rules that either at USAP, right? Like one of them might have an advantage over the other as far as maybe power or spin limits. Like if one is more than the other, then the amateurs are going to use the one with more, right?
Yeah, 100%. And the USAP has the hotter paddle.
There you go. Like,
yeah, because they decrease the amount of deflection allowed. Like the weight used is like 42 versus 46 now.
Yeah. That makes it so hard on brands to make paddles.
No, exactly.
Like you have to make 2 versions of the same paddle to get approved in both groups.
Yeah.
Or just make your pros different versions.
Or just make your stand. Like, I'm not going to support you. I mean, I don't think as a brand it makes sense to even go UPA-A unless you want pros.
Yeah, so it's only going to be, I mean, you're going to have Selkirk, JOOLA, like Vulcan's got a bunch.
6-0.
Franklin.
Yep, Franklin.
I don't know, just there's probably only like 6, 7, 8 brands that kind of dominate now anyways.
And it's basically all the brands that are on that advisory board.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact some of those brands are not okay with this either, though, that are on that advisory board.
So the people
they don't like the way this is going.
Yeah, like what's the word on the street? Like what's those who are opposed? Is it the money or?
I don't even think it's just the money. I think it's just the whole. I think money's part of it, but just the whole ordeal. Like the paddles are just getting hotter and hotter. The first paddle let into this interim process was like the most questionable paddle. And what do you really get for your money? I mean, it's supposed to be better testing and all this stuff. We haven't seen it yet. So basically everybody's going on the word that this is going to be better for the sport.
Yeah.
So until like the proof's in the pudding, like until we see that.
Yeah. The interim is very similar to
what's going on now.
UPA is doing deflection. They're doing a spin test. But
they said that the spin test didn't even get rid of like any paddles because it's like 2,200 RPMs.
I don't even know how they're calculating that. Have they published that?
No.
Like we don't even know.
They just pay one guy to just hit this.
No, it's got like
it's got to be some
robot.
Like,
it's got to be a robot.
I'm sure it's a robot that's at a certain angle with the paddle.
We would hope so, but like, is it?
Or, I mean, I don't know.
Or are they just looking?
There's no transparency
at the spreadsheets out there.
They're just using. they're actually using like yours and Q's and just like getting a mean of the. But they said that the spin didn't actually like push that many paddles out.
I mean, but did it push any out?
Well, it said that there was a few, but it was like none that mattered.
They didn't say?
They didn't say. There's like they did release a statement.
So weird.
But they're still using deflection, which USAP is using deflection. They didn't even go to an exit velocity yet because they said they don't have one yet.
Yeah.
So it's the same. Like that's the thing. It's like to me, it's the same testing.
But it is a little bit different. Like I think the deflection numbers are
they changed it from 46 to 42 pounds.
They did change some things a little bit, but as a brand making paddles, it's not, especially the bigger you are with more distribution, the bigger runs you have to make. You're putting these brands in an impossible position to innovate and to have to make paddles for both. Like it's a mess.
Yeah.
It's really hard. And then they can't, with the rules, like they don't know how they're going to test. They don't know what they're going to be. So like I was on a call with this brand on Monday, and he's like, yeah, like we're innovating around a control paddle because we know that will improve. And it's like, it's cool what they're doing, but it's like, they're like, our hands are tied until they sort it out. Like it is pausing.
It is
innovation.
When I've talked to several brands, they're like, we have a power paddle like in the pipeline. We just don't want to push it because we have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah. It's such a mess.
And with the smaller brands, if you ramp up production and make whatever 30,000 paddles, and then all of a sudden it's illegal, like that you're done.
Yeah, you're toast. Yeah, and we'll talk about this in Paddle Babble. So there are more kind of like power paddles coming out, but a lot of them are from like smaller brands.
Yeah,
and like it makes sense, right? Because they can do a run of say 300-400, like where it's obviously costing them money, but it's not going to like destroy them. Yeah. And so.
No, we are seeing a lot more like limited releases, like where they're like, here's 500 paddles, here's 250 paddles.
Yeah.
So we're like, Selkirk can't do that. Like if Selkirk produces a paddle, they have to produce a ton of paddles.
Yeah, like 50,000 of them or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like it almost, as we're talking about it, like it kind of plays into the smaller companies' hands right now for the innovation. Like that's for the next, until UPA-A and USAP get their stuff figured out. I feel like it plays into the hands of the smaller brands who can innovate quick, get away with smaller runs. And if it gets delisted, move on.
Yeah. Then you just make it thinner and get it reapproved like a Ripple.
Yeah, like a Ripple. All right. What else we got?
What else do we got? De-weaponizing the serve.
Okay, dude. This one. So I'm in like Timbuktu, Oregon. I'm just checking my phone here and there. And like I see.
You thought it was a joke, didn't you?
I just saw everyone posting about like joking about de-weaponing. I'm like, what? I have no idea what this is about.
Okay.
Like, where did this come from?
Did you see the video?
No.
So they were like testing ways. USAP was like testing ways to de-weaponize the serve.
They posted a video on Instagram.
Yeah. Well, so I think somebody filmed them testing it. I don't think it was like an official video, but they were like drawing a line, like 4 feet inside the baseline that your serve had to be in there. So you can't serve big and deep anymore.
Wait, what?
I'm serious.
Okay, so USAP gets filmed. They post its videos, like thinking that they're like, look, we're trying to.
Well, no, it wasn't posted like that. I think it was just like because memes was going after him. I think it was just like a video of somebody saw them testing this, and they were like,
"What are they doing?" Oh my gosh! So that's where it came from.
So there's a video out there of them like testing this like 4 foot inside the baseline.
Ways to de-weaponize the serve. That's what they're thinking.
I mean, soon it's going to be ping pong. You're going to have to like present it open palm.
But yeah, I saw every account was joking about the de-weaponizing, and that's what it's from. Okay, I had no idea. I didn't see.
Yeah, so there was a video that came out, and I mean, there's some good points. Like you get in venues that there's not enough room past the baseline because dudes are hitting absolute rockets. And you're like court size, and I would rather that like you deem this is like a necessary court size for pro tournaments.
Yeah, that's the solution, right? Not de-weaponizing.
No, it's big. I mean, like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's like depends on the venue. That's not like universal.
Well, I know like SLC, like at the Pickler, that was an issue. Was that the barrier was too close to the baseline that people were getting pissed off. They were running.
That's why they got to do tournaments at the Flying Pickle.
So there's a lot of room.
The local courts here, the Flying Pickle facility, is well suited for that. Like they have 2 huge championship courts. Yep. Pros will not complain. Indirect, like I wonder if I don't know. Has Paul? I know they've created it wanting to do big events, but I don't know if they've really hunted one down.
I don't know if they pushed for. I mean, we just had the big national juniors tournament.
Yeah.
And everybody loved that.
But yeah, the venue needs to be nice. The Flying Pickle could totally do it. I hope they can get one.
That would be awesome. But so de-weaponizing the serve, terrible. I think it's a terrible idea. I like big serves. I mean, the spin serve, I was like okay with that being killed because I have played on courts where like if you had like Porter's level of spin serve, you could put somebody in the wall every time and basically make it unreturnable.
Yep. Well, I'll see if anything materializes from that. I doubt. Sounds like it was just like elite.
Yeah, it's nothing official.
Okay. All right. Now the jokes are making more sense.
What else did we have?
So I threw in one bullet here at the end.
Yes, that's a good one.
So I did watch some of the PPA event. The Johns had not made a finals appearance for 6 straight events.
Yep.
They make it to the finals. So they in the quarters they had a really tight one against Fed and Tardio, who beat them last week.
Yep.
But they came back. They beat them in 3. They get to the finals, and then they lose to none other than Q, Mr. Kwangdong. I'm sure I'm sad. I don't know how to say his name. They call him Q
and Alshon
and Alshon, Christian Alshon. Like, so these guys are on the Ranchers.
Is that his first? Well, I mean, I know it's Kwangdong's first, like for doubles, but is that
Alshon's first?
I guess it might be Alshon's too.
Maybe. It might for me.
I'm so used to seeing him get close to winning a gold in anything and then just crying because he loses.
But the most unlikely duo seemingly makes it to the finals and then beats them.
Yeah.
So it was on Fox. Like, the Jones had a lot of incentive to want to win this.
Yeah.
A lot of people watching.
Highly
they
televised.
lose in 3 straight sets to Q and Christian,
who just don't hit a single third shot.
Just gripping and ripping it, dude. So I didn't watch the finals because it was on Fox, and I don't have Fox. Did you watch it?
I saw some clips of it. I didn't. I was at the fair. Being
so
a dad.
I did watch other Q and Christian games, and dude, they just crash
exactly
just drive and crash.
It's just an
just going hard, super aggressive, and they're both very good at it.
Yep, they have big dipping drives, like
big dipping drives. Christian's long. He's got that paddle tech. He can really pop the ball, and it worked.
Yeah, and it's funny because that's just like the complete opposite of the Johns games, like how they play. Yeah.
So I know they're gonna go post that game on YouTube today. I kept going back to YouTube hoping
to watch it
so we could watch it before this. But they won in 3 straight sets. They they both play for the Ranchers, which is how they kind of met.
Yeah.
Christian came in last minute and to play with Anna Bright and mixed, and then which they took silver.
Yep.
Did a good run there, and he's like, then he calls up his buddy. He's like, "Hey,
did you see?
Let's do this."
No. Mix it all. Oh, Ben took out his frustration on Anna Bright.
Did he?
Yeah, go watch that game.
Okay. But anyways, good for them.
Yeah,
super cool.
I got a call last night and somebody's like, "How did they end up as partners?" I'm like, "You must not watch MLP. Like, they're partners in MLP." They're like, "Oh,
yeah." So Ryan, the guy that is like the GM for the Ranchers, is looking real smart right now. Pickleball. Yeah, he dropped to Les to pick up Kwong, and it seemed like a questionable move, but they come in and win this PPA.
Everybody was like, why would he do that? Yeah, but exactly.
Yeah,
now it's working.
Now he's looking brilliant. Yeah. Mr. Pickleball.
Have you seen, he's got a podcast now.
Yeah, he's doing it with Deckle. It's cool.
Yeah.
I think it's smart of him. Like he's very connected and linked in to the space. And so
it's funny too. I watched it. I watch all the podcasts.
He's a quirky, funny dude. I love Ryan. He's great. Yeah, he and Deckle are doing it. Okay. But yeah, so that makes 7 straight tournaments without a gold and very few medals for the Johns brothers.
Yeah.
And it feels like we've reached parity in the men's game. Like the Johnson or Frazier lost early to who was that? It was Todd Fott and
who's his partner? Yeah.
Oh, what's his name? He's out of Arizona. I'm forgetting at the moment.
Look it up. Yeah, I saw the score on that one.
Yeah, and so they beat them early. And anyways, like I feel like we're starting to see more parity, and like I wanted to tune in this tournament more so than others because I'm seeing these upsets. I'm like, oh, how are they going to do as they progress? Like the semifinal matches were all kind of odd, and it was like
changing of the guard
a little bit here. And I still think Johnson Frazier are the number 1 team, but it's more interesting now. It's like, what's going to happen? Like, are the Johnsons going to get fired up? Do they want are they going to switch partners? Like.
I think all this partner switching is actually hurting the Johns because I think they're very they have game plans that are set to certain partnerships. So when they're all changing, they don't really know how to approach some of these games because
maybe
a lot of unknown.
Ben has said that before, that it's usually new partnerships that
they struggle with.
Yeah.
Well, even in singles, typically his first singles game against some up and comer that's different looks tougher than the second time he plays them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big time. But they haven't been able to adjust. It's been 7 straight. Like that is not like by chance, right?
No. So there was a bunch of jokes about him dropping Colin. So there was like, I don't know if you watched memes, but they're like, close the locker and like Tardios.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. But that's interesting. And it makes like all this kind of chatter is really fun. And it makes the tournaments more interesting to me.
Way more. Nobody wants to watch the same team win over and over and over and over. But we're going to continue to see that with Ben and Annalie.
Yeah, they're going to dominate mixed. No one's even pushed them really.
No. And honestly, I think it's not going to happen. Annalie is just so much better, like on the women's side, that I think it's just a huge separation.
Well, and Ben used to be that way, but they caught up to him. But yeah, Annalie is going to keep dominating mixed. She's going to keep winning women's
when she plays women's. So.
And women's is still really fun up until like the semis.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, it's all over the place until the end.
And like, I don't know, it's been really fun watching Anna Bright and Aurora Barker play. I enjoy watching them
because they are fun.
They kind of have like a Christian Kwong style play where they're just like bringing the heat. And anyways, they're fun. But yeah, this is the first time we're starting to see like some parity there. All right. Finish here with Paddle, Babble, and Gear, brought to you by
The Kitchen.
The Kitchen. All right, dude, highlight a feature that you like.
So, what did you do last week? You did the magnet.
I liked.
So, we got the ball. I mean, I like all the magnets, but the ball holder is pretty sweet. I don't know if you watched this week. Did you watch the challenge?
No.
So, he held a challenge for, I sent you the video. Did you not watch it?
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
You have to hit it across the court.
So, from cross court, you had to basically serve one and make the ball land in the pocket to win the sling. So that was super cool. But I love these ball holders because when I had a big tour bag, all my stuff would just fall to the bottom. And
there was no dedicated space for balls.
Exactly. Like even I had like a Diadem, almost like a duffel bag type, and it would like, the balls would like get stuck under folds of material and like you'd have to like dig around. It's just annoying. So I like having the dedicated ball holder and then the magnet.
Yep.
I mean,
yeah, and the fact that you can access it without opening the entire bag is really nice.
Super nice. So always have
really clever design with the ball gutters. I would think we start to see more of that.
Yeah,
the ABV bags that will kind of collaborate, like they did the same thing.
Okay.
That's and anyone who makes a bag going forward is going to have these because
people love them.
People love them.
Yeah. The only thing is if you have it stuffed with balls, it makes it a little smaller. So like if you want more space, just do balls on one side, and then it gives you a tiny bit more room in it.
Yeah, I do the same thing. So. I don't need 8 balls.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So I just put 4 on the one side.
No, and that's plenty.
Yeah, the ball gutters are dope, and then just everything's super high quality. I've been using this bag here for a few months now. It's breaking in. It gets nicer the more I use it. Really, really like these bags. Go check them out. Kitchen Pickleball bags.
And I love that he's still trying to make it better. Like even this current, like they're still working on like making the shoe cube better and like
they're
not keep happy. Like they want to keep going.
Yeah,
I love it.
Grub and their crew is awesome, and this product is fantastic. Can't speak highly enough about it. All right, first bullet point: the Hush is being submitted for a tournament approval, so it's currently approved for quiet category.
Quiet only.
What's going on here?
Man, I don't think this should be approved. I love Diadem, love Evan, love the innovation. This paddle is so hot and so much spin. It's wild to me that it's being submitted for approval, but USAP opened the door to this because, like, what are the real reasons this would fail? Deflection.
Like it pushes in like a quarter of an inch.
Yeah, like a ton. So it would fail deflection, but so does the owl. The owl would fail deflection too, and they went around the owl or around deflection to pass the owl. So I think by approving the owl, they open the door. I don't know how I'm curious to how you say no to this now.
Right. Like, so for those listening, if you don't know the history behind kind of quiet paddle, so owl is the first quiet approved paddle. It's been like a year.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Maybe longer than a year, but yeah. At least
and there hasn't been many quiet paddles that have come. Actually, this is the only one that I'm aware of, like the next one. So it's been a long time. But the owl, there seems to be some sort of association with owl and USAP. And somehow the owl gets approved for tournament play, even though it doesn't meet all the tournament play like requirements for a paddle, like deflection and stuff. And so the Owl paddle is actually pretty hot itself.
Exactly.
Like it hits pretty good. And so yeah, that gets approved. Everyone's like, wait, what? And now these guys are trying to get it approved. So to your point, how do you say no when there's been a precedence with a quiet paddle that doesn't meet the standards, got approved?
Yeah. And this is the thing. So obviously this is going to fail. Like this will never be in the pro game. Like this would fail their testing, but gets USAP stamp. I can use this at local tournaments. If I would make some people mad if I was out there using this at some local tournaments.
No, it spanks. Like when you use it, you're like it's more than a Gen 3.
Mhm.
You're like,
And
you're taking it back.
It's quiet.
It's quiet, makes it challenging that
Yeah.
way. And then the spin is insane on it.
So I took it out to the local park this week.
Oh, you did?
Let some ladies swing it at Manitou, and they were just hitting bombs.
Just dominating.
Oh, it was so fun. I almost got hit by one.
Give me that pedal back,
Yeah,
please.
it was great. But I was just like, I wanted to see like regular rec players play with it, and it's a great paddle. It's super cool innovation. It's too hot though to be legal in a tournament setting.
Yeah, it's even questionable in rec play.
Yeah,
because you put that in like your hands or something, like you smoke the ball, and it's dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, I body bagged somebody like 6 times in one game with this thing.
And yeah, they can't approve that for terms. If they do, I'm just gonna switch to it.
No, exactly. It's being like I would play with this in a tournament, no problem. So if you're interested in trying a paddle that ethically is questionable, but is amazing, I would definitely check it out. And the pricing did come out. It actually was cheaper than we thought. It wasn't. It wasn't over 200.
It was under 200.
Like it was under 200.
Then you throw the 10% off.
Yeah, 10% off. Mm.
All right, next one. All right, let's talk about the paddle I'm going to be using at PPA Salt Lake City.
What are you using?
Just take a guess.
Is it new?
No.
Okay. Prism.
No. I'll give you one hint. I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up, but it requires a slice cap because it's very heavy, like head heavy.
It requires a slice cap because it's very heavy, head heavy. Well, it's not the gearbox because that's molded. Shogun.
We'll pull it out. The
Franklin.
Yeah. Okay. So I did a review of these a while ago when they first came out, and there's 4 models. They have like a standard and elongated. They have a 16 and 14 in each one. And I was like, they actually feel really good. They're just extremely heavy. So like the 16 elongated is like the 99th percentile on like swing weight. It was like 130 maybe. It was like really up there. And then even the 14 was like above 120 for elongated 14, which is like you just don't see. And then the 16 millimeter on the standard was like I think it was 120. Like they're all super high.
Yep.
And but of this, like I was like, they play good. They're just super heavy. It makes it tough for a lot of people, and they're just not super approachable because they're so heavy. But I was attracted to the 14 originally, like stock. I was like, I think it comes in at a swing weight of like 116 or 115. So it's more manageable. But it felt really good. Like the pop and power still there, like a thermo. But I actually liked the extra weight on the 14. I think a lot of 14s, and like especially a standard shape, are too light. Like you have to add weight. Like I loved the Volaire 14, but it was like you had to dump a ton of weight on there.
Yep.
And so I actually liked that they added more weight. And so and the way they achieve the extra weight is they use a different type of foam around the perimeter. They use like a denser foam.
Makes sense.
And so I think the denser foam makes it feel, because I'm also a sucker for like softer feeling paddles. And so it has a softer plush feel, but it still has some good, power and pop out of it. It's not like lacking there. I think it gives me a little more than the Volaire Mach 2, but it feels softer. So it's almost like a little juiced up Hurricane 14. So it feels very similar to that, but it gives you a little more power and pop. And so it felt really good. I'm a sucker for softer paddles. I like 14 millimeters. You don't see that too often for 14. And then I was like, we would get into slice caps the last few weeks. I was like thinking a couple weeks ago, I was like, what would be a good paddle with a slice cap that I didn't really consider before, but might consider now? And I thought of this one. I was like, oh, I liked it. So I went and I put a half ounce,
Oh, you went half
a
ounce?
half ounce, and then I do have a little bit of tungsten. The 1 ounce just was a little too much. So I
Okay.
wanted like an in between the half ounce and the.
Okay.
So I have this and a little bit of tungsten at the bottom, and so it's and I took their grip off. So I don't know if you ever felt their grips. It was like
I don't
their
like it.
baseball grab,
Yeah, I don't like it.
baseball bat grips. And so I took that off, and it was actually really heavy. I think it was like a half an ounce.
Oh, geez.
So I took that off, and I was like, oh, that kind of frees up some of the weight a little bit. So and then I just double wrapped some over grips through the half ounce, a little bit of tungsten on there, and it's like 8.6 now, and it feels good, dude. Like it's soft. I just like my controls there. I got that kind of the lower launch angle, the 14s, and anyways, with the slice, it feels quicker than that. The flicks are easier, and I like it.
So are you a believer in the slice now?
Oh yeah, I'm 100% a believer in the slice.
What'd you think of the installation? How was the installation for you? Did you have to use tape or
Sorry.
like installing the slice?
Oh, installation. I was like thinking of no, yeah, it's kind of a pain in the butt.
You
Like
think I said insulation?
yeah, I was like a house installation or something. Installation.
Installation.
No, it's not bad. Like it's kind of a pain in the butt to pull the
staples out.
The staples out.
Yeah.
But once you get those out, then you plop it on there. I do think the penny caps that's like the Gammas and stuff have is more convenient and easier.
Absolutely.
But obviously most pedals don't have that.
So Q agrees with me. Let's see what you think. Do you think brands are just gonna, because this is picking up so much steam, do you think brands are gonna just start offering a 5 ounce and 1 ounce butt cap on their stock paddles?
I think they should. I think they should either license it with Slice, because I think that's like Slice has the brand. I mean, I guess you don't have to, but
they're building.
Do they have it? Do they have a patent, Slice?
I don't think so.
That might come back to hurt them.
No, exactly. That's one time where I'm like, can you get like because it'd be like a utility patent, like for the weighted butt cap? Because I don't think you can patent the weighted, like just straight up patent that. I think you just have to do like the utility using it on a pickleball paddle or whatever.
Maybe. No, so Reload, like we said last week, is already doing that.
Yeah.
We're gonna see that everywhere. Either brands start including the coin thing.
Did they patent that?
So Grip supposedly did.
Okay.
But then Gamma came out with it. So I'm sure there's slight variations you can make or whatever. Either we see more of the coin thing, or it might just be both. We see more of the coin and we just see more weighted butt cap options. I think brands are going to start off with those. Like it makes sense.
Yeah.
But like previously I was like, Slice isn't make a ton of sense for standard, but like in this unique case where this paddle is so heavy, it makes sense. So yeah, I think right now it's 115, 116 swing weight, weighted up to 8.6, and it feels super stable. Gives me what I want out of 14. And thank you, Slice.
Yeah.
And then randomly, I kind of decided I was going to use this about a week and a half ago. Franklin emailed me and was like, Braydon, we're going to start doing discount codes now.
Oh, nice.
We're going to kind of launch it with you and a few others to see how it goes. So if you are interested in these, they do have discount codes now. So my code 10effect works on Franklin's website. These are cheaper. They're like 150, which is nice. So that'll drop it down to like 135 or something. So like it's a pretty good deal. But this is the only one I was like really liked out of the series. The other ones are a little more niche unless you can really handle all that weight. But like I don't feel like it needed weight on top. It just needed the Slice, and we're grooving.
I love that they're adding the discount codes. You have some brands that are getting rid of them, and Franklin's like, okay, we're going to start. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I love that. What else we got in here?
Yeah, I don't
even know.
Do we have any other paddles?
I don't know.
Oh, you wanted to talk about the body Helix.
We'll talk about the body Helix. Just super cool looking.
Yeah, talk about it. I ran the numbers on it, but I haven't averaged it out yet.
So, body Helix X4 Kevlar, gold Kevlar. Probably
cool.
The only, very unique. I will say they have very nice handles. And he told me these are modeled after Wilson tennis grips. Like, I like these handles. They're like,
the grip or the handle shape?
Like the grip.
The grip itself.
Well, in the handle, all of it.
Yeah, it feels good.
It's just real solid. And he said that's basically modeled after.
It doesn't feel like it's the foam. It feels like it's harder.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like super mushy under my hand.
Yeah.
Which I like. Control's good. So like I played one game with the gearbox and I was just having like issues, like mid-court resets were just they were just so high.
You gotta be good like me.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like it would take me a little like getting used to. I can play the gearbox.
No,
but like mid-court
you can't just never drill with it. plop it to a game and expect to
And that's what I
control it.
did. Like drives are great though, but then mid court I was just like everything was too high.
Yeah.
Switched to a softer paddle, fixed it. So like this was great resetting from mid court. It still had enough power. It was not like the gearbox power, obviously, but enough power to get away with, and it dinks super well. It's just a solid paddle. I don't even know what they cost.
It's like an all court style, right?
Yeah, very very all court style.
Yeah, when I ran the power pop numbers, if I remember correctly, I haven't averaged them, but I did them like right before I left, and so I still have the numbers in my spreadsheet. But it seemed like it was maybe a little above average.
Yeah.
On like the power pop scale.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, no, it was. It definitely wasn't like lacking. It just wasn't like that. I mean, it's tough when I played side by side with the gearbox.
Yeah,
because the gearbox hits absolute rockets.
And then do you know the deets on like the face? Like, is it 100%?
I don't know.
If it's a
I don't know
Kevlar
what
carbon
used.
weave.
Yeah, I don't know if it's 100% Kevlar.
It looks like 100%.
It does
Kevlar.
look like it.
Anyways, this is interesting for Body Helix. I've hit a bunch of their paddles.
This was my favorite one. I have two. I have three of theirs.
This is the one where I'm like, okay, I want to go spend a little more time with this one and see how it plays.
Yeah.
The others didn't pique my interest as much.
I think that was it. That was it.
Yeah. I only played Monday this week. I didn't really test many paddles, so I don't have any specific. Oh, I forgot about this bullet point. It's not a paddle per se, but so dropping the reload.
Yeah, when's the reload review? Yeah.
Aaron was out of town a little bit, so
slacking.
Hopefully that will come out here soon. But so reload, I'm really big on this technology. I think the replaceable skins is for the consumer is a really big deal. And then, anyways, I was contacted by another skins company called Revive, and so I'm gonna have a call with them this week. I don't think they're making a paddle. I think they're just making like a skins that could potentially be used on anything. And so I don't know all the details of like how he's doing it or what his kind of go-to-market plan is, but
isn't reload patent?
So it's not the same as reload. Like it's a different thing, but it's like the same concept of like replaceable grit.
Got it.
And so it's already happening. We're starting to see more.
Yep.
And I'm a fan of it. Like if these are legit, like I can't help but think we're going to see more and more of that. Like as the consumer, like I want that so bad.
Yeah.
Because buying $600 worth of paddles every year to get fresh grit should not be happening. I should only need, like the paddle should go out.
Yeah.
Like the power pop should go out before I need a new one, not the grit, right? And so this is that was what's their names? Oh my gosh, my brain. Reload is the first ones to really do it, right?
Yeah.
They do it right.
It's there's the first one that's like, holy cow, this is awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. And so this is another company that's their own take on it. So we're going to see more and more of this. And I think
we also have some, they're called like whisper pads or something. So a company that's specializing in it goes over your current paddle to make it a quiet paddle. They're sending us some.
Okay. Yeah. So there's another one. And this is.
Yeah. I think we're going to see more and more. This is going to be real popular.
I mean, the reload system is so slick.
Yeah.
Because it's all like one. You don't add it to an existing paddle. It like is the paddle.
Yeah.
And so like if you're trying to make these skins to add to existing, like any paddle, it makes it tricky.
Swing weight and all that stuff.
Yeah, adding weight.
Because I mean, even with pickle, it adds a lot of weight.
Yeah, the pickle skins, that was part of the issues. It adds a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
And those didn't quite spin as well as raw carbon. And so, but people are doing it. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And so I think this technology is sweet. I'm glad they're doing that. And then last bullet point here is just we're going to start seeing some new tech finally. Like it's been kind of a lull, I feel like, of releases. Nothing like crazy. Like Reload was like the biggest one, like technology wise. And since the delisting, we haven't seen many like Gen 3 type innovations.
Yeah.
So we're going to start seeing more kind of Gen 3 style, more foam incorporated in the paddle from a number of brands, and they're all smaller. And didn't realize why it's the smaller brands until we talked about it a minute ago. Like it's because they can innovate and get away with getting delisted. Like it's not as big of a deal for them.
Yeah.
And so we've already talked about the Olympus. It's not using foam, but they have some innovations. You have the Ripple.
So correction, it is a type of foam being used.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Boom.
It's just not what we're used to. It's not the same.
Okay.
Yeah. I was corrected.
I would consider that like a Gen 3 style paddle though.
Yeah.
Like to me, Gen 3 means a paddle that incorporates foam somehow.
And I was saying it's using foam differently than the perimeter YOLA foam.
Okay.
So
you got the Olympus. Neonic has one coming out.
Yeah, the Flare, the Prime is the name of the core.
I'm actually pretty stoked about that one. Like on paper, it looks really interesting. Could theoretically replaces like the YOLA Gen 3 Scorpius 14, like the Anna Brights. And so a lot of people were a fan of those. And then nothing's really replaced it yet.
Yeah. Did you see one of the flares being sent? Because we're both getting flares. One of them's a 16 titanium.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's kind of exciting.
Anyway, so Neonic, that one looks interesting. Then you were going to say the Rhombus Ripple?
Yeah, I would say, well, the Ripple's approved. The 14's approved. It's out in the, people are playing it. And to me, I've only played against it, not with it, but it rips just like the 16 that got delisted.
Yep. That was another one. And then you have Pickleball Apes that's doing some stuff with some foam cores. And then Ace.
The Ace Heart, yeah. It's, I don't know if you've seen the picture.
It looks kind of like a YOLA, but like extended.
Well, like the whole core is like floated in foam.
Yeah. Like on a YOLA, like the extra foam like goes to here.
Yeah.
On their pictures, it went like all the way.
It goes all the way around, so the core is just like in there. And the foam's like around it.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
So,
anyways, so we're starting to see some new stuff come out.
Yeah.
We'll be trying all those and picking out the good ones. But that'll finish it for us.
Don't forget the giveaway.
Don't forget the giveaway.
Win some free stuff.
Do the things.
Do the things.
All right. See you guys
later.